Hello everyone, I am Bipin Joshi and you are watching companion video to my article Create Property and Method Decorators in TypeScript. In the previous part of this article and video series, you learned how to create class decorators in TypeScript. In this part, you will learn how to create a property decorator and how to create a method decorator. So here I have created a new ASP.NET Core MVC application. Now under www root, I will add TypeScript folder. I will then add a new TypeScript file. Let's call it prop method decorators.ts. I will also install the necessary NuGet package. Okay, then I will add the tsconfig file because we need to enable decorators. Okay, now let me add this. So we added experimental decorators true. Then I will come to the ts file, and here I will first create a class. This is employee class. We'll add two properties to the employee class. Two properties, employee ID and full name. We'll also add show details method. Let me just add a couple of lines in the show details. Show details method basically picks up employee ID and full name elements from the HTML page and it sets the inner HTML to the appropriate value, the respective values of employee ID property and full name property. So this is the employee class. Now we'll create a new property decorator called required. The required property decorator will ensure that the property holds some value. The required property decorator will be used something like this. So we have two properties, employee ID and full name. So on top of employee ID and full name, we can add the required decorator like this. Since we haven't created decorator yet, it will give error at the moment. Now this required decorator is essentially a function. So let me add that function required. The property decorator function takes two parameters. The first parameter is target, which is basically the prototype of the class, and the second parameter is key, which is essentially the property name. Now in this required decorator, what we need to do is we need to register this property for validation, and then later somewhere in the code the validation will actually be triggered. So let's create that validation mechanism. So we need a separate class. Let me get that class from here. So I added a class called required property validator. This class has a static property called properties. The data type of this property is string array, because you can register multiple properties for validation. So it is a string array. It also has a static method called isValid. So isValid method basically accepts the employee object that is to be validated, and inside the validation takes place, and it returns a boolean value true false, indicating whether all the properties marked for validation for required field validation they hold value or not. Now inside basically the code loops through all the registered properties. It loops through all the registered properties, and with every iteration it checks whether the properties is undefined or not, and accordingly the flag value is set, and finally the flag is returned to the calling code. So this is the helper class we need, which stores all the properties to be validated. Now we need to call this, we need to invoke this class from inside the required decorator. So let me add this. So inside required function, I called required property validator dot properties dot push. Properties is a string array, so we are simply adding an element to that string array. Push into bracket the key. Key is the property name. So when you decorate employee ID with @required, you are essentially adding employee ID to that properties array. Similarly, when you add @required on top of full name, you are essentially adding full name to the properties array. So now both of our properties are registered for required validation. We can now check the isValid status inside our show details code. So let me add a bunch of validation there, bunch of lines which do the validation. It's essentially an if else check. So here we check required property validator dot isValid into bracket this, that is the current employee object. If isValid returns true, you display the actual property values on the page. If any of the property doesn't contain any value, isValid will return false, and a validation error message will be displayed on the page. Fine. So this happens in show details. Now let's test this code onto some HTML page. me add a new HTML page. I will this markup should be familiar to you because we used something similar in our previous examples also. So basically there are three div elements with ID, employee ID, full name and MSG. Employee ID element and full name element basically displays the respective property values of the employee class, and MSG element displays error message if any. And then there is a script reference which points to the prop method decorators.js file. Okay, so we have this, and in the body onload we are calling decorator demo function, which essentially creates a new employee object. So let me add this function also to my TS file. So I will go at the bottom. And inside I will create a new object of employee class. I also set the property values employee ID and full name, and I am then calling show details method. Fine. Now let me run this page in the browser. So here you get the output. In this case we are setting values of employee ID, and in this case we are setting values of the employee ID and full name properties. So the isValid is going to return true, and the property values are rendered on the page. Now let's comment this out. So that means we are no longer setting employee ID and full name. Let's see what happens now. So in this case it tells us that there are some validation errors, because now isValid is going to return false. And so that is how our required property decorator works. Now let's see an example of method decorator. As an example, we'll create a method decorator called confirm before execute. The confirm before execute method decorator will ask whether you would like to execute a method or not. If we say yes, that the underlying method will be executed, otherwise the method execution will be cancelled. So here you can see I have added a confirm before execute decorator on top of show details method. We haven't created that decorator yet, we will be doing that in a minute. So for now it will show us some error. But this is how it is going to look like. At the rate confirm before execute. So it will confirm whether to execute show details or not. It will add confirmation dialog to the execution. Now let me get the decorator code. Just like any other decorators, confirm before execute, that is method decorator, is also a function. Confirm before execute in this case. This function accepts three parameters. target and key parameters are exactly as before. They are same as the property decorators, and it has third parameter descriptor, which is basically a property descriptor. Inside the decorator function, we store descriptor.value into a local variable. Descriptor.value is the current function that is on which this decorator has been added. So in this case, in our example, it is going to be show details. So we store the original value of show details inside a local variable. We are going to add the user confirmation functionality. So somewhere we need to preserve the original value. So we do that here. Then we change descriptor.value with a new function. So the original value we overwrite, we replace it with a new function. So descriptor.value is a new function now. Inside the new function, we first ask the user, do you want to run show details method? So it will show a JavaScript confirmation dialog. If user clicks OK, flag will be true and we want to execute the function. If user clicks cancel, we want to cancel the execution. So if user says OK, we invoke the original show details which we have stored in the in this particular local variable. So we invoke the original show details by calling apply method on it. Apply method, we pass two parameters, this and arguments. Arguments are basically the arguments to the function, if any. And then we display, then we render a success message onto the page in the message element. That method executed successfully. So if user says OK, if user says cancel, we don't want to execute show details. So we don't call apply method here. We simply display a message telling the user that the method has been cancelled. So this is how confirm before execute function looks like, and we have added it on top of show details. Let's see how it works. I will run the page in the browser. Since we are calling show details in body load, it is now asking me, do you want to run show details method? If I say OK, it will display the employee details. Now if you remember, the displaying employee details is part of the show details. That means show details is getting executed. So it will execute show details and display method executed successfully message. Now let me reload the page. This time I will say cancel, and it now says method cancelled by the user, because now show details won't get executed. So this is how our confirm before execute decorator works. That's it for now. If you found this video useful, consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching this video.